Hush now, my dear. Close your eyes and let your thoughts settle, like leaves floating slowly down a still river. Tonight I'll tell you a quiet story about a dog and a cat who lived all alone on a little wooden boat. It was a very old boat, painted once in blue and white, but now the paint had faded, and the wood was soft with age. It rocked gently on the water, tied to a sleepy dock at the edge of a forgotten fishing village. The dog's name was Bruno. He was a kind, brown creature with ears that drooped like the petals of a tulip, and the cat was called Miri, soft as smoke, with fur the color of moonlight. They had found each other one misty morning, when the world was quiet and the air smelled of salt and seaweed. Since then they had never parted. Every morning, the first light of dawn would slip through the cracks of the boat's tiny cabin, and Mary would stretch on the windowsill, while Bruno yawned so wide that even the seagulls seemed to smile. The two of them would step out onto the small wooden deck, where the world felt slow and kind. Bruno would lap up a little water from his tin bowl, and Mary would watch the ripples with lazy curiosity, her tail curling like a piece of ribbon. They didn't have much, but the boat was their home. Inside there was a soft blanket, a cracked old lantern, and a wooden chest filled with seashells and driftwood treasures. Sometimes they would find things floating by, a feather, a bottle, or a single white flower, and keep them as little pieces of the sea's secret stories. The villagers nearby often said that the dog and the cat had once belonged to an old sailor, a man who had loved the sea more than anything. When he grew too old to sail, he had left his boat to them, and so the two friends stayed, keeping watch over the waves, guarding the stories that lingered in the creak of the wood. At sunset, when the sky turned the color of peaches and gold, Bruno would lie down at the bow of the boat, his chin resting on his paws, and Miri would curl up beside him. They would listen to the water whisper against the hull, and the distant bells from the harbor. The air would smell of salt and lavender, and for a while, the whole world would seem wrapped in a quiet sigh. Sometimes, when the moon was high, they would both wake and look out at the stars, tiny lights reflected on the black water. Bruno would tilt his head as if listening, and Mary's eyes would shine like twin lanterns. The boat would sway ever so softly, back and forth, until sleep came to them again. They never went far. The dog and cat were content with their little floating world, the place between sky and sea, between memory and dream. And though no one quite knew how long they had been there, the villagers always said that as long as the boat remained, peace would stay upon the harbor. So now, my dear, as you lie there, listening to your own gentle breath, imagine that small boat, drifting softly on calm water under a silver moon. The dog snoozes quietly, and the cat purrs like a lullaby. Everything is still. Everything is safe. And the world, just for a while, is at peace. Sleep well, little one, and may your dreams drift as softly as their boat upon the quiet tide. Crescent moon.